Yo, what's going on? Have you ever scrolled through your feed, seen a spot so insane it looks photoshopped, and thought, wait, that's a real place? Or better yet, do you ever feel like every vacation spot looks the same these days? We've all been there. But guess what? The travel game just changed. The experts at Condé Nast Traveler, Forbes, and National Geographic just dropped their 2026 rankings. And let me tell you, the results are gonna blow your mind. In this video, we aren't just listing pretty postcards. We dug through the latest 2026 data from Time Out and Lonely Planet to find the 10 countries that are absolutely crushing it in the beauty department right now. From surreal landscapes that just hit different to ancient wonders that have stood the test of time, we're counting down the official top 10 most beautiful countries on planet Earth. Stick around to the end, because number 1 might just be the ultimate flex in natural wonders. Number 10. Colombia. Colombia has completely flipped the script on its old reputation and is now shining as one of South America's biggest beauty hotspots. According to Forbes' 2026 rankings, Colombia stands out for its striking natural picture that combines lush rainforests, soaring mountains, and 2 coastlines, both the Caribbean and the Pacific. Let's start with the Cocora Valley, where wax palms, the tallest palm trees in the world, shoot up out of the misty green hills like skyscrapers reaching up to 200 feet tall. Walking among them feels like stepping into a fantasy novel. These palms are the national tree of Colombia, and they only grow in this specific valley, making the experience completely unique. Then there's the vibrant Caribbean coast, with Cartagena's walled city, where colorful colonial buildings meet turquoise waters. The sunset over the city walls is one of those moments that makes you put your phone down and just stare. Head south, and you'll find the Amazon rainforest, teeming with wildlife you won't see anywhere else. Pink river dolphins, jaguars, and poison dart frogs. The Andes Mountains split Colombia into 3 distinct ranges, creating dramatic valleys, rushing rivers, and the famous coffee region. National Geographic also highlights the Tatacoa Desert, a surreal red and gray badlands perfect for stargazing. Because of its low light pollution, it's one of the best places in South America to see the Milky Way. Colombia has more bird species than any other country on Earth, over 1,900 species, which is about 20% of all bird species globally. You can drink coffee on a mountain farm in the morning and dance salsa on a beach by sunset. Safe, welcoming, and visually overwhelming, Colombia in 2026 is a must-see. It's a country that has worked hard to shed its past and is now inviting the world to see its true colors, literally. Number 9. Tanzania. Tanzania offers one of the most primal and breathtaking experiences on the planet. Forbes lists Tanzania as a top contender in 2026 because of the raw, unfiltered beauty of the Serengeti and the Ngorongoro crater. The absolute flex here is Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest peak in Africa at over 19,000 feet. It's a dormant volcano with 3 cones. And here's a crazy fact. You can snowboard down it in the morning and go on a safari in the afternoon. Where else can you do that? The mountain is so massive that it creates its own weather system, and the sunrise from the summit is something mountaineers call the Roof of Africa moment. The Serengeti hosts the Great Migration, where over 1.5 million wildebeest and 200,000 zebras thunder across the plains in a circle of life that has been running for millions of years. It's the largest overland animal migration on Earth, and seeing it from a hot air balloon is a bucket list experience. Then there's the Ngorongoro crater, a massive volcanic caldera that acts as a natural enclosure for the Big Five: lion, elephant, buffalo, leopard, and rhino. The crater floor is about 100 square miles, and you can drive down into it and see all 5 within a few hours. It's often called the Garden of Eden for a reason. Off the coast, Zanzibar offers powder white beaches and historic Stone Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Stone Town's winding alleys, carved wooden doors, and spice markets take you back centuries. Lonely Planet also shouts out Lake Manyara, where flamingos turn the shoreline pink. Sometimes over 1 million flamingos at once, so dense they look like a pink blanket from a distance. Tanzania doesn't try to be beautiful, it just is. Rugged, wild, and totally unmatched for that Indiana Jones vibe, this is the place to feel small in the face of nature. It's the kind of beauty that makes you realize humans are just guests here. Number 8. France. France is way more than just Paris and the Eiffel Tower. Forbes put France on the map for 2026 because of its insane landscape diversity. Yeah, the French Riviera is stunning. Glamorous beaches, yachts, and the deep blue Mediterranean, where the water is so clear you can see the bottom 30 feet down. But have you seen the lavender fields of Provence? From late June to early August, endless rows of purple lavender stretch to the horizon, smelling so good it's almost intoxicating. The fields are often next to ancient stone villages and sunflowers, creating a patchwork of colors that looks like a painting. Then there are the French Alps, home to Mont Blanc, the tallest peak in Western Europe at over 15,700 feet. In winter, it's a skier's paradise with resorts like Chamonix that hosted the first Winter Olympics. In summer, it's a hiker's dream with crystal clear alpine lakes and wildflowers that bloom in colors you didn't know existed. Head west to Biarritz, and you'll find some of the best surfing waves in Europe. The Atlantic coast there has long, rolling waves that attract surfers from around the world, and the beachside cafes serve fresh oysters for next to nothing. Condé Nast Traveler also highlights the cliffs of Etretat in Normandy, white chalk arches rising out of the sea that inspired Monet repeatedly. He painted them over 80 times. Don't forget the Loire Valley, where over 300 fairy tale castles and rolling vineyards make you feel like you've time traveled to the Renaissance. You can bike from chateau to chateau, tasting wine along the way. France is the only country on this list where you can ski down a glacier, swim in the Mediterranean, and sip wine in a medieval village all in one road trip. It's not just beautiful, it's been curating its beauty for centuries, and it shows. Number 7. Vietnam. Vietnam is officially having its glow up, and the world is finally paying attention. Condé Nast Traveler slotted Vietnam into the top 30 most beautiful countries for 2026. And honestly, the visuals are pure top 10 material. Start with Ha Long Bay, a UNESCO site with emerald green waters and over 1,600 limestone islands that look like dragons just landed in the sea. The name Ha Long actually means descending dragon, and local legend says the islands were created by a dragon that plunged into the sea to protect the country. You can take an overnight cruise on a traditional wooden junk boat and wake up to misty peaks rising out of the water with the sound of waves lapping against limestone. Then there are the rice terraces of Sapa in the north, carved into mountains over centuries by ethnic minority groups like the Hmong and Dao. They turn brilliant gold during harvest season and look like a giant staircase to the sky. When the mist rolls in, which it often does, the terraces look like they're floating in the clouds. Phong Nha Ke Bang National Park is home to Son Doong, the largest cave in the world, so big it has its own river, jungle, and weather system. Yes, clouds form inside this cave. The main passage is over 600 feet high and 500 feet wide, tall enough to fly a Boeing 747 through. Lonely Planet also shouts out the coastal vibes of Quai Nan, a quieter alternative to busy Da Nang, with long sandy beaches, fresh seafood, and almost no crowds. Add the chaotic, beautiful energy of Hanoi's Old Quarter, where motorbikes flow like water and street vendors sell pho for $1, and the lantern-lit streets of Hoi An, where every full moon, the town turns off the electricity and lights thousands of silk lanterns. Vietnam is a country where you can ride a scooter through mountain passes, kayak through caves, and eat the best noodle soup of your life on a tiny plastic stool. Affordable, authentic, and stunning. Number 6. Peru. Peru stands tall as a history book written in stone and mountains. Condé Nast Traveler is hyping Peru hard for 2026, and while Machu Picchu is the headliner, the bench is ridiculously deep. Machu Picchu itself sits on a ridge between two sharp green peaks, often shrouded in morning mist, the kind of place that makes you whisper when you first see it. It was built in the 15th century by the Incas and then abandoned, only to be hidden from Spanish conquistadors and forgotten for 300 years. Hiram Bingham rediscovered it in 1911, and it's been blowing minds ever since. Then there's the Colca Canyon, twice as deep as the Grand Canyon, At its deepest point, it drops over 13,000 feet from rim to river. That's nearly 2.5 miles straight down. You can see giant Andean condors soaring on thermal winds, their wingspans reaching up to 10 feet. These birds are so massive that they don't flap. They just glide for hours. The Paracas National Reserve offers red sand beaches meeting the deep blue Pacific, where penguins waddle around like they own the place. Humboldt penguins, to be exact, and they're one of the few penguin species that live in warm climates. National Geographic also highlights Lake Titicaca, the highest navigable lake in the world at over 12,000 feet above sea level. The Uros people live on floating islands made of reeds, an ancient tradition still alive today. They build their homes, boats, and even watchtowers entirely from totora reeds, and the islands have to be constantly rebuilt from underneath as the reeds rot. Don't forget Rainbow Mountain, Vinicunca, with its stripes of red, green, yellow, and lavender from mineral deposits. It's a tough hike because of the altitude, over 17,000 feet at the viewpoint, but the payoff is unreal. Peru is mystical, high-altitude beauty that hits different when you're walking through cloud forests and hearing Quechua spoken around you. Number 5. China. China is having a major moment in 2026, and for once, it's not just about the Great Wall. National Geographic highlighted Beijing's newly recognized UNESCO Central Axis status, blending ancient imperial history with modern urban design. But visually, you have to see the Zhangye Danxia National Geopark, aka the Rainbow Mountains. Those colors aren't edited. Real mineral deposits over 24 million years created stripes of red, orange, yellow, green, and blue that look like a painter got carried away. The stripes are actually different layers of sandstone and siltstone that have been folded and eroded into waves of color. Scientists say you can read the geological history of the last 100 million years just by looking at the bands. Then there's the Li River near Guilin and Yangshuo, where limestone karst peaks shoot straight up out of calm rice paddies. This is the landscape on the back of the 20 yuan note. You can float down the river on a bamboo raft, steered by a local guide using a single pole, and feel like you're inside a traditional Chinese ink painting. The mist that often hangs over the river makes the peaks look like they're floating. Time Out also gave a shout out to the giant pandas of Chengdu. You can see them at the research base, which has become a model for conservation, in the surreal Zhuzhaigu Valley, a national park filled with multicolored lakes, waterfalls, and snow-capped peaks. The lakes in Zhuzhaigu get their colors from high concentrations of calcium carbonate and algae, creating shades of turquoise, emerald, and deep blue that change with the light. Add Tibet's Potala Palace, which rises 13 stories above Lhasa and contains over 1,000 rooms, and the vast grasslands of Inner Mongolia, where nomadic herders still live in yurts. China delivers everything from tropical beaches on Hainan Island to frozen tundra in Heilongjiang. It's a country where futuristic skylines drop into ancient karst mountains, making it a photographer's absolute dream. Number 4. Canada. Canada is serving major main character energy in 2026. Condé Nast Traveler keeps Canada on its elite list, and honestly, it's almost unfair how much empty, beautiful space they have. The crystal clear lakes of Banff National Park in Alberta are so blue they look like Gatorade. Moraine Lake is the one you've seen on a million desktop wallpapers. And yes, it really looks like that. The blue comes from rock flour, finely ground rock particles from glaciers that reflect light in a way that creates that impossible turquoise color. The lake is only fully thawed for about 3 months of the year, which makes it even more special. Then there are the Torngat Mountains in Newfoundland and Labrador, remote, rugged, home to glaciers, deep fjords, and polar bears. You feel like you're at the edge of the earth. The only way to get there is by chartering a plane or taking a multi-day boat trip, and cell service is non-existent. That's the point. The Canadian Rockies stretch from British Columbia into Alberta, offering world-class hiking and skiing on mountains that still have active glaciers. The Icefields Parkway between Banff and Jasper is often called the most beautiful drive on the planet. 144 miles of peaks, glaciers, waterfalls, and wildlife. National Geographic also highlights the Bay of Fundy in New Brunswick, which has the highest tides in the world, over 50 feet of vertical difference between low and high tide. That's a 4-story building's worth of water twice a day. You can walk on the ocean floor at low tide and kayak over it a few hours later. Don't forget the Northern Lights in Yukon, where you can see auroras over 200 nights a year, or the red cliffs of Prince Edward Island, made famous by Anne of Green Gables. Canada is massive, second largest country in the world, but only about 40 million people live there. That means endless wilderness, quiet lakes, and wildlife like moose, bears, caribou, and whales doing their thing without interruption. It's nature, untouched and unapologetic. Number 3. United States. The United States is absolutely stacked with natural wonders that compete with the whole world. Time Out recently voted Big Sur, California, as the 5th most beautiful spot globally for 2026. Highway 1 through Big Sur is arguably the most scenic drive on the planet. Cliffs plunging into the Pacific, redwood forests, and sea lions barking below. The road was built by convicts in the 1930s, and it's so precarious that it has to be constantly repaired from landslides. But the views are worth it. Beyond that, you've got the geothermal geysers of Yellowstone, the first national park in the world. Old Faithful shoots water 130 feet into the air every 90 minutes, and the Grand Prismatic Spring is the largest hot spring in the U.S., with rings of bright orange, yellow, and green bacteria that make it look like an alien world. Then there are the wild peaks of Alaska, with Denali at over 20,000 feet. Denali is so massive that it creates its own weather, and only about 30% of visitors actually see the summit because it's usually hidden by clouds. The red rocks of Arizona's Grand Canyon and Antelope Canyon are equally dramatic. The Grand Canyon is 277 river miles long, up to 18 miles wide, and a mile deep. It's so big that you can't really comprehend it until you're standing at the rim. Antelope Canyon on Navajo land is a slot canyon where beams of light shoot down through narrow openings, creating ribbons of red and orange on the sandstone walls. National Geographic also shouts out Maui's Road to Hana in Hawaii, with its 600 curves and 54 bridges leading to waterfalls, black sand beaches, and bamboo forests. The historic Route 66 cuts through deserts and mountains, past gas stations and diners that feel like time capsules. Let's not forget the Great Smoky Mountains, which are actually smoky because of fog from plant respiration, the Florida Keys with their coral reefs and pastel houses, and the Oregon coast with its haystack rocks and tide pools. The USA offers everything from tropical beaches in Florida to Arctic tundra in Alaska without needing a passport. It's diverse, dramatic, and honestly underrated by people who live here. Number 2. New Zealand. If any country can challenge for the top spot, it's New Zealand. Forbes ranks this Kiwi paradise as number 2, and it's basically one giant movie set. Whether you're a fan of The Lord of the Rings or not, you can't deny the power of the Southern Alps, the glassy fjords of Milford Sound, and those rolling green hills that look fake but are 100% real. Milford Sound alone gets over 200 days of rain a year, which sounds bad until you see hundreds of temporary waterfalls cascading down sheer cliffs into dark blue water. When it rains, the waterfalls multiply, some reaching over 1,000 feet tall, and the sheer rock faces turn black with moisture, making the green moss and ferns pop. You can kayak there with dolphins swimming around your boat, and if you're lucky, you'll see fur seals lounging on the rocks. Then there's the South Island's Lake Pukaki, whose turquoise color comes from glacial flour, finely ground rock suspended in the water. The color is so intense that it looks like someone poured paint into the lake. Behind it stands Mount Cook, New Zealand's highest peak at over 12,000 feet, which locals call Aoraki, meaning cloud piercer. The North Island offers geothermal wonders like Rotorua, where mud pools bubble, geysers shoot steam, and the entire valley smells like sulfur because of the underground volcanic activity. It's like walking on another planet. Lonely Planet highlights that you can go from a glacier to a beach with white sand in a single road trip. Franz Josef Glacier comes down to rainforest levels, one of the only places in the world where you can hike a glacier and then walk 20 minutes to a subtropical forest. New Zealand is also home to some of the clearest night skies on Earth. The South Island's Mackenzie Basin is a dark sky reserve, meaning no light pollution. You can see the Milky Way so clearly it looks like a photograph. New Zealand is raw, dramatic, and the ultimate spot for anyone who thinks hiking is a spiritual experience. It's small, but packs more beauty per square mile than almost anywhere else. Number 1. Indonesia. Taking the crown as the most beautiful country on Earth in 2026 is Indonesia. According to Forbes, Indonesia didn't just make the list. It snagged the top spot for its insane landscape diversity. We aren't just talking about Bali, though those sunsets are legendary. We're talking about a country with over 17,000 islands, about 6,000 of which are inhabited. That's more than 17,000 chances to find paradise. You've got the prehistoric vibes of Komodo National Park, which Time Out ranked as the second most beautiful place on Earth in 2026. It's the only place where you can see ancient Komodo dragons roaming wild. They can grow up to 10 feet long and weigh 150 pounds, while diving into some of the most biodiverse coral reefs in the Pacific. The waters around Komodo have over 1,000 species of fish and 260 species of coral, plus manta rays, sharks, and sea turtles. Then there are the lush rainforests of Sumatra, home to orangutans, tigers, elephants, and rhinos. It's one of the only places in the world where you can see 4 of the big 5 Asian land animals in one jungle. The rice terraces of Ubud in Bali look like they were painted by Mother Nature herself. They follow the traditional Subak irrigation system, which has been passed down for over 1,000 years and is now a UNESCO heritage site. National Geographic also highlights Raja Ampat, a remote archipelago off West Papua, often called the last paradise on Earth. It has over 1,500 fish species and 600 coral species. 75% of all known coral species on Earth are found here. The biodiversity is so high that scientists are still discovering new species every year. Don't forget Mount Bromo in East Java, an active volcano you can hike at sunrise to see a crater smoking against a purple sky. You can take a jeep across the Sea of Sand, a vast volcanic plain, then climb 250 steps to the crater rim, where you look down into a hole that's constantly belching sulfur smoke. Indonesia also has Lake Toba, the largest volcanic lake in the world, formed by a super eruption 74,000 years ago that changed the global climate. The lake is over 1,000 feet deep and has an island in the middle that's about the size of Singapore. Indonesia has it all: volcanoes, jungles, beaches, lakes, coral reefs, and cultures that have thrived for thousands of years. It's the definition of a tropical getaway on steroids, and that's why it's number 1. So there you have it, the most beautiful countries on Earth according to 2026 rankings from Forbes, Condé Nast Traveler, National Geographic, Time Out, and Lonely Planet. Did your number 1 make the cut? Or do you think we totally missed a hidden gem like Norway, Japan, or South Africa? Let us know in the comments below. We actually read those, so drop your hot takes. If you enjoyed this virtual trip around the globe, smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and share this with your travel buddy so you can start planning your next trip. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.